participate at that point, or perhaps what is next in that roadmap?
All right, so the process is running from 2023 to 2026, the monitoring round. So the essence of us collecting evidence and getting the perspectives of civil society is to also allow them to participate in the process, and their participation is more aligned to trying to assess progress on issues around CSO enabling environment. And you'd find that post the country profiles, the government, through the Ministry of Finance, working with development partners, civil society, philanthropy and other sectors, they are going to then undertake at a national level dissemination workshops to disseminate the results. Because people have been consulted within the development partners, within civil society, within government line ministries. So there's also an interest to then say, after our participation, where are we as a country? Then from those dissemination workshops, the idea is that it is going to lead us as a country to prioritize issues that we can dialogue or create actions around, that are then going to say that between the coming out of the results, which is sometime this year, I think within the first quarter, what then can we then commit to say we're going to do? And the beauty of this process is that it is led by the government, and you'd find that the government has created a lot of coordinated platforms that it can use to, to host these dialogues and to sort of like sustain the process. We have got the National Development Cooperation Policy. If you are to go through that policy framework, it sets the architecture in terms of the key institutions. It even assigns roles and responsibilities to some of these key institutions. So you'd find that post the process, there's also going to be a lot of multi-stakeholder engagements that are going to be involving different actors and different sectors. So it is also then going to, create that opportunity for engagement, and also for us as a country to try and work on our issues in such a way that whatever we are doing to better the lives of Zimbabweans, we do better and we do more.
Absolutely. Ernest, as we're coming to the end of this program, many CSOs might be listening local. How can they find and access more information on the fourth monitoring round? How can they also submit their input that could be used in coming up with some of these assessments?
Thank you for that question. So let me start off by saying the GPEDC process is an open process. It's not a witch hunting exercise. So there is nothing that is being done underground throughout the process. Like we said, it's a 5-stage kind of a process. It starts with an inception, where even at national level there was a national launch, of the process to say, as a country we have committed and volunteered to take part in this process. So there is a dedicated website for the Global Partnership for Effective Development Cooperation, which anyone can access. And I think us as NANGO and even NAYO, most of our member organizations, they have access to our contacts and everything. And I think from the process that we've done so far, we have tried also to share more, because sometimes when we interact, we might not comprehensively address everything, in terms of ensuring that there is a better understanding of the process itself. And also the beauty of the process that they are focal points. These focal points have been acquainted in terms of what the process is all about, and also, like I said, it's consultative in nature. And the consultation are not even subject to manipulation. At data collection, each sector can do their processes independently without the interference of any other sector. So for instance, when we were doing our own consultations in civil society, it was independent of any other sectors, like I mentioned, the academia, the philanthropy, the labor, organized labor, to say government. So they've done that process. And we also spoke about the issue of the briefs. So it's something that will be posted in the GPEDC platform to ensure that anyone with an interest just to know how as a country we are faring around the different principles that we have talked about, and also around the different aspects that the process looks at. They have access to such information. But like what McDonald has said, we will not then depend on people accessing that information through the websites. We will also take an initiative to ensure that there is dissemination of information in the results once the results are published. And I think we have taken an initiative to ensure that at every stage of the process, we will reach out to the sector. We ensure that we submit something that is also a culmination of a consultation. So feedback is guaranteed, and feedback will come to the sector to ensure that everyone is well aware of the process, and also even to take part to say, okay, it's not only about accessing the information, but if there are gaps that still exist, because the idea, like we said, is to ensure that there is effective development cooperation and there is sustainable development. So the process just helps us to see where there are gaps, so that at least we address those gaps and ensure that at the end of the day we achieve the betterment of the lives of people, which is our core business as different development actors.
Fantastic, and to our listeners, it certainly is much clearer. Now, the moment somebody says Global Partnership for Effective Development Cooperation, and of course, that the fourth monitoring round is what is currently happening, and Zimbabwe has actually put her hands up to say we also want to take part in the process. Now, something, I suppose, a parting shot. Starting with you, Ernest, on this issue, really getting to grips with the importance of this monitoring round for the Global Partnership Program.
Okay, so my parting shot is that some of these processes, sometimes there are limited opportunities for us to then engage with the people or with the citizens who are supposed to benefit from the development that we are talking about. So my challenge, especially to fellow civil society and the other development actors, is for us to try and cascade the information, also get a sense of what the communities think can work in terms of the development. And I think when we start to champion people-centered development, I think we are really advancing the kind of development that we want to see, which is based and informed by the needs of those people that we claim to be serving. So we should not make a mistake of ensuring that we are like I also emphasized the issue of leave no one behind. Let us ensure that we preach the gospel, we share with others so that they also share what they think can work for them in as far as development is concerned. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ernest. And coming to you, McDonald, your parting shot on this very crucial subject.
I think in terms of my parting shots, the fourth monitoring round of the GPEDC, it presents a very good opportunity for different development actors in Zimbabwe to strengthen the relationships that they have, to strengthen partnerships, and to also strengthen collaboration that ensures that we better the lives of Zimbabweans. So it's an opportunity that we should all embrace, where we have got commitment and leadership at the highest level of government. And I think it also means that there is also a lot of support, that is coming with this particular process. And as a country, we should make the most of it. And as civil society organization, we should also be seen to contribute and make sure that our voices and our inputs are heard.
Thank you so much. I want to really thank my guests once again, Ms. Ernest Nimai, Director for NANGO, National Association of Non-Governmental Organizations. Also, Mr. McDonald Mnyoro, a Monitoring and Evaluation Officer for NAYO. Really thanking you for coming in and shedding a lot of light on this very crucial process currently underway, the fourth round of monitoring for the Global Partnership for Effective Development Cooperation. And if I did hear you correctly, this is it's a step, it's a process that involves many steps, and this is just but one step that invites and encourages civil society to take part. And that again, it is going to be a process that is clearly transparent and holds all parties to account. Many thanks once again to my guests as we were looking into understanding the fourth monitoring round of the GPEDC, and of course the role that we all play, particularly the civil society organizations. Many thanks once again to Ernest and to McDonald for being our guests this evening.